Today I'm building an angle grinder clamp stand that I can use to cut materials that are held in a vise. My angle grinder body has about 10 centimeters of free space where I could clamp something, so I'm using 35mm thickness of wood and I need 3 lots of that wide. Because I'm building it in 2 halves, I'm going to need 6 pieces in total. Here I wanted to make the hole size 2mm greater than the diameter of the grinder body. So that'll give me 2 halves for the angle grinder to fit through. So the idea was to put some 10mm coach bolts through there to hold the 2 halves together and put a hinge on one side. I guess you always learn by your mistakes. An auger felt like a good idea at the time. Here I'm cutting a 10mm hole for an M10 bolt. I needed to file out the size of the hole just a little bit to make the bolt easier to slide in. If you don't have a file, perhaps use a larger diameter drill bit. So now with these holes started on the bottom one, I should be able to just drill all the way through. Here I'm using a Forstner bit with a diameter larger than the coach bolt head. Okay, so now that's fitting in. Just a threaded insert. I'm just going to screw that in, trying to keep it level. So that means I'll be able to attach something onto the bottom there. So what I've done is adjust these 2 screws to match the height of the body of the angle grinder. So that means they should be fairly level. So this is Sugru. This is the mouldable glue that I'm going to be using to mould to the shape of the angle grinder handle. I think it would have been a good idea to screw the base together before applying the Sugru. I wanted to see how easy it was to mix 2 colours of Sugru together. I used 2 packets here. I split the Sugru into 4, 2 bits for the bottom and 2 bits for the top. I only needed to put Sugru at the front and the back end of the mount. So just to help it not stick to the angle grinder, I'm just going to put some cling film over that. So again, I'll just place some cling film over the top. Leave the Sugru to cure for 24 hours. Thinking that if I put some card in there, that'll expand the radius of the circle a little bit, leaving more space for this to go in. And then when I take these away and finally clamp these on, then that'll give it a bit more compression and hold the angle grinder just that little bit more firmly without putting too much pressure on the body. With hindsight, I would have used the card spacer at the beginning and just put down 1 layer of Sugru. So again, I'll just leave that for 24 hours to cure. I'm using 4 screws to join the right side to the centre. And now 4 screws to join the left side to the centre. Here I'm pre-drilling screw holes for the hinge to join the 2 halves together. So try the angle grinder in here again. And it looks fairly flat for where I want that to go. I'll just mark it. I'm drilling to mark the position of the base holes. So I'm going to drill some 6mm holes through that because that's the size that the nuts are in the holder. Using a countersink so the base can slide freely. Cool, so they're all lining up just below the surface. So now what I need to do is to drill some clearance holes for the bolts to fit through the bottom. I'm drilling to mark the position of the base holes. Okay. I might replace these coach bolts with longer ones. So I need a new blade on this, but I'll see if it'll cut some tile. So I think that's done a reasonable job. And with a sharper blade, I'll probably get a nicer edge along there too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.